Okay, so one of the questions that I get all the time is how long is the sales process? So once we get a contract, it basically depends on the type of financing that the buyer is getting. So if we're working with a cash buyer who's buying your property, a cash property can typically close in 2 weeks if there's no association approval. So in terms of the title work, the lien search, all that stuff, if we have a cash buyer in Dade County, Broward, in South Florida, we can usually close in about 2 weeks by doing the title search and the lien search if there's no association approval. Now, if we're working with an association where even if we have a cash buyer, but there's an association approval process, then it really depends on how fast the association moves. And most associations typically take between 2 weeks and 4 weeks to approve a new buyer. So the title search and the lien search will probably be done, and then we'll just have to wait for the association to complete the process. The other thing too is that if there's an association, then for closing, we're going to need what's called an estoppel letter. And in a separate video, I'll show you, but basically an estoppel letter also can take anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks. So usually I'd like to tell my clients that if you live in an association, it'll take at least 4 weeks to close, even if we have a cash buyer. Now, if we're going to sell to a buyer that has financing, say just regular financing, getting a loan from, I don't know, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, ABC Bank, then that process will usually take between 30 and 45 days. If the buyer is very diligent in submitting all of his or her paperwork to the lender, and the lender is not backed up because they're having a lot of business and they're fully staffed and all that stuff, then usually we can close in about 30 days. Worst case scenario, we might need an extension, and then it might take 35, maybe 45 days to close from beginning to end. Beginning being the time that we sign a contract officially with a buyer, and the closing when buyer and seller sign and money is transferred. So anyway, I hope you find that helpful. Let me know if you have questions about this or anything else, and I'll see you in the next video.